Hello, everyone. Welcome to your holiday spirit messages. I know I missed a week when it came to your newsletter and your spirit messages, but I knew I was going to be sending one out on Christmas. So I just wanted to make sure that I was doing spirit messages for Christmas and not overwhelming your guys' inboxes. Because I'm sure at this time, with all the consumerism that's going on, especially so many of us are forced to shop online, your inboxes are inundated. So I'm really excited to just be part of your inbox when it comes to Christmas messages. And so I wanted to just pull some cards for this week and for the week of Christmas. And you likely will see these newsletters pick up again in the new year. So I look forward to coming back to your inbox. There may not be a spirit messages next week, but I will definitely be doing a January forecast. So you'll definitely see that at the end of next week. Let's just see what Spirit has here. So this week I'm going to be using Rebecca Campbell's Starseed Oracle. So this is, again, one of my favorites. It's very light and airy, so it's not a tough teacher. No one needs a tough teacher right now. And we got some beautiful cards already. We got the Forge Don't Follow card, the Pave the New Path, Be Your Own Leader. This has come up a ton in my mentorship, actually. And even something I discuss with my daughter all the time, like leading ourselves through different situations and different experiences that we're having. And of course, this is going to be a Christmas unlike any that we've likely ever had, especially where I live. We're not allowed to gather for Christmas with our families. We are allowed to go shopping and meet them in the Walmart aisles, but we're not allowed to have them in our house. And so this is kind of an experience that Spirit's telling us that we have to lead ourselves through this experience. Are we going to go down the rabbit hole of victimhood? Are we going to make the best of a situation? It is up to us to lead ourselves through these experiences, and we're going to be much better for it. I do recommend you make the best of the situation, of course. Inner Earth. So this is the time of winter. Yesterday, at the time I'm recording this, was our winter solstice, the Great Conjunction. We're celebrating today the return of the sun, but it's still winter. And winter is about the internal experience. And so this card is asking us to sit with ourselves in silence, to go into a meditative state, the inner temple, whatever it is that you want and feel drawn to experience with this card. But now is the time to plant the seeds for our new beginnings, right? We could look at spring as being a new beginning. That's when, like, the astrology chart kind of starts over. It feels a little bit backwards for us here that we're celebrating New Year's in January. The astrological New Year's is kind of like at the onset of spring, and that's kind of the natural rhythm of life as well, right? Birth anew. So now is the winter time in which we plant our seeds, and that is done through contemplation and through assessing what hasn't worked, what we want to get rid of, what we want to bring birth anew. And so Spirit is calling us inwards during this time. It's also a time where the veil is at its thinnest. So we can actually connect with Spirit more easily this time of year than any other time. So you can choose to look at it. I know I have a lot of light workers here too. This is actually a time of year where I don't serve as much. I go inwards for self. I'm not expending my energy outwards for others. So I think that's what Spirit's kind of calling us in to do, right? Serve yourself, especially as mamas. We're always serving other people first. So this is the boundaries card. I know that when I talked on my Instagram about what was your word for 2020 and what do you think it ended up being, boundaries came up quite a bit. And so not a lot of us have really strong boundaries. And so this might be something that you want to bring into 2021 is the boundaries. This could be work hours. This could be how people talk to you and how they treat you. You have to set strong boundaries around this. Could be clients. This could be your own personal time. I know one of the things that there's overwhelming demand for me, my inboxes, like for emails and Instagram and Facebook and my Voxer system, which I have my VIP mentorship clients set up on. So throughout the day, I probably receive about 80 messages a day. And so I had to start setting up boundaries to not get overwhelmed, to not feel like I fully had to be on the phone all the time. So what I did to set my boundaries was I made people wait a little bit. People might have to wait a little bit longer for their messages to get returned. I turned off all the notifications on my phone, so I didn't have anything pulling at me to get to my phone. And I had to let some of my clients know, just saying, you know, whereas before I used to be 7 days a week, there are some days that I have to like not be on. And everyone has respected my boundaries completely, mostly for the most part, really understanding if they have to wait a day or two to get a message back. But that's just the nature and reality of it. So that's just to give you an example of how I have set boundaries for something that was really energetically draining me. But I still love getting messages from people. I love communicating with people. It's not about that. It's just I had to set boundaries in hours. So I usually spend an hour in the morning and an hour in the evening getting back to as many people as possible. So the next set of cards here. Yeah, so I love this one. I've never pulled this card. This is a messenger card. This is about balance. So this is just what I'm talking about now. How can you incorporate balance this holiday season? They're also making me feel, I don't know why I want to talk about finances with this card. I want to talk about balancing needs versus wants, because Spirit is making me feel very aware right now that there's some money stuff coming up for people. Not enough, and when you have enough, spending it, all this kind of stuff. This has come up a few times in the past week in different ways. So Spirit's wanting you to look at harmony and balance when it comes to your finances as well. They are actually making me feel like I need to say there are different areas where you have to cut back in your life, and that's perfectly fine as well. I think we're finding out after 2020 that the material way is not the way, right? So this is another one. This is a conflict card, to be quite honest with you. And you'll see the two people standing off in a distance. I feel like people who will be drawn to listen to this, there's some sort of conflict or distance with somebody that you really, really care about. Again, could be friendship, could be partnership, could be part of your soul family. But Spirit is really wanting you to look at the karma that might be play it here. So often, you know, you could look at a different conflict and be like, oh, where have I done this to somebody else in the past? Have I repeated this pattern? Is this pattern being repeated to me? Spirit is asking us to widen our lens on this experience and try to find a different perspective of this. One of the angel messages or angel prayers that I like to use when I feel kind of like in victim mode, like if somebody doesn't like me or somebody's like complaining about me, like whatever it is, I will simply say the prayer to angels and just say, thank you for allowing me to see this from a higher perspective. So that's what Spirit's asking you here, because they do make me feel that whatever's going on when it comes to conflict or something that's making you a little bit uncomfortable or uneasy is karma at play and part of a soul contract. So look at it from a higher perspective. Oh, you guys are getting some tough cards here for Christmas. I won't lie. You guys know I have to give it how it's given, right? So Spirit is also asking you to wait. So you'll have to discern for yourself where this might come up, but there might be people who are looking at making like really drastic changes. I'm seeing like 4, 5, 6, 7 different things that you want to change in your life. And Spirit is saying, hey, settle down a little bit, one thing at a time, go inside, dream a little bit, dip your toes in before you go making some big drastic changes. This is the time to wait. This energy might change come January, I'm feeling. So this is just going to be for the next like week and a half, 2 weeks. The energy is a little bit crazy right now. Good crazy for me. I've really enjoyed the experience of all this energy, but cool. For some people, it might be the opposite, right? We all deal with cosmic energies very different because we're all made up of completely different cosmic makeups. So that makes sense. So you'll hear people like, oh, retrograde sucks. And you're like, I don't know, I've been having a good time. That's because it all affects us very differently. So the final card I'm going to draw for you for these Christmas messages is the Child of the Cosmos. So again, this is a card that Spirit wants you to understand that you are the cosmos. You are a spirit in its truest essence. When you are sleeping, your spirit roams free. And so you can't forget that there's that aspect of you inside of you. If you get too lost or too it wrapped up into the drama of the human experience, you've forgotten who you were. If you tell yourself that you hate yourself or that you're effing things up, you have forgotten that you are a spirit. And so this is a reminder for you during this Christmas time that Spirit really wants you to know that you are a spirit first. And you are just as magical as they are, those on the other side. So if you need this little reminder for this holiday season that you are a spirit, let it be this message. You are a spirit. Spirit first, human second. So hopefully that helps you guys. I just wanted to pull an angel card for you too before I go. If you follow my work, if you follow my podcast, and you follow my Instagram, you'll notice that I always go through seasons like everybody else. And the angel season has been here for a while. I mean, I studied angel energy for 4 years, very solid. And then, ebbs and flows. Interests will ebb and flow, and the angels have been very prevalent for the past 4 or 5 weeks for me. So I'm going to just pull you guys a Christmas card and then a messages from heaven, and then I'm going to let you guys go and enjoy your Christmas. So, I love this. So you guys got the healthy angel, healthy choices. So for some of you, I know we're heading into, the Western world, kind of like New Year's or the modern New Year's, January 1st. And this is where we do make really healthy, conscious decisions. So just know that that's awesome. I'm not going to deter you on that, and that the angels support you in all the healthy decisions that you're making right now. They are fully supporting you in it, and they want you to know that you can do it. You can 100% accomplish all of your health goals. So do make them, and don't think that they're corny, and don't think that they're like predictable, is kind of what Spirit's making me feel, that they're proud of you and that they are supporting you in that. And then the final one, I just got this deck called Messages from Heaven. I talked about it a little bit on my podcast episode recently, which I should have recorded that, to be honest with you, but I didn't. So I'm just going to pull you a message from heaven, and here it is. You are a star. Step into the spotlight where you belong. And it's got the number 4 on it, which is my angel number. So this is another angel card. So I love the song. So it's by Beautiful Chorus, and it's like this little light. And she talks about like, this little light of mine, it used to be so scared to shine. And so that's the song that's kind of coming to my head right now. I'll link it on Spotify in the notes below. And please don't mind my singing. I do not sing at all. But that's the song that's kind of coming to my mind. And I think that you will find it very empowering. It was actually when I gave one of my favorite clients, like, this is your mantra. Don't be afraid to shine. You are meant to do big things. You are meant to shine bright. And so Spirit doesn't want you to forget that this holiday season. I thank you so much for watching me week after week, for sending me all the DMs, writing all the comments, really honoring my body of work this year as I stepped into this work full time, and really surprised myself at not only what I was capable of, but what I had the capacity for. And so I hope for you that you had just as magical a year, that you surprised yourself with your resilience, with your flexibility that was called upon us all as we were dealing with COVID and a pandemic, and canceled plans, and schools closed, and all these restrictions, and feeling like our freedom's being taken away or whatnot. I just want you to know that Spirit is incredibly proud of you, and they were here every single step of the way, and good changes are coming. That's what I'm hearing. And so thank you so much for continuing to support me, for continuing to show up for yourself. It's an incredible honor to even be the smallest part on your amazing path. Merry Christmas. I'll see you for the January forecast next week.